Simplified Chaos, episode 159.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
Hello. Welcome to Simplify Chaos. This is Jillian, one of your hosts, and I'm with my co-host and husband, Nick Calise.
What's going on, folks? We hope you all are having an amazing week. We've got another great episode here for you today. Actually, this is kind of a primer episode. We'll talk to you a little bit more about it. Jilly, what are we going to dive into?
We're starting a series here, folks.
Yeah.
We're not sure how it's going to go. We're going to do it anyway.
We're going to do it. We were talking in the coffee shop the other day, and this just kind of came to mind, and we're like, fuck it, let's go for it. So we're doing it.
Are we calling it Going Against the Grain series?
Going Against the Grain, because it feels like we've been doing a lot of that lately, so we feel like it'd be a fun thing to dive into, but we'll talk a little bit about that in just a few minutes and some of the topics that we will be going over the next couple of weeks here. But before we dive into that, Jilly, let's talk a little gratitude. Yeah, I got hand motions going and everything right now. I am pumped.
If you could see this, Nick's doing all these hand gestures like people are watching him, and I'm the only one watching it.
Yeah. We'll do video one of these days. Jill thinks I have Muppet hands, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what was going through her mind right now.
Well, the only way I'll do video is if we actually make Muppets of ourselves.
Well,
but that's just double the work because then
that is challenging.
I just love Muppets, and I just don't want to be on camera.
Fair enough.
That's it.
All right. Well, what are you grateful for besides Muppet hands?
I am grateful for our little goal of having a family hike once a month, because the fact that like we chatted about it and we were putting it in our journals and our planners, and I had it on my monthly goal list of family hike this week. And just the fact that it was written down, it was just like, we woke up, today was Sunday, we're starting the morning slow, we're savoring it, drinking coffee, and, we're like, what do you feel like doing today? And I was like, I don't know. But I did see in my journal that I was like, we haven't done a family hike this month, and today would be a really great day to do it because
hot as balls.
It was hot, but I had just recently met a dad maybe like a week ago, and I was just asking him, I was like, because he's been here for about 3 years, I was like, is there any hikes you recommend for kids? Because he had 2 kids, and he was telling me these three areas, and I was like, Nick, what do you think about like checking out this hike today? And he was like, yeah, why not? Like, I love that you just go with the flow, and you were feeling it too. So we had this really fun little hike today. Lucille wasn't really feeling the walking part of it, but thank God for the Osprey carrier that it is getting all the use, and your beautiful muscles are just getting toned through the process.
That's right.
So yeah, our hike today was so glorious. Yes, it was warm, but we picked a shady trail purposefully, and Lucille just gets to be out in the element. Like, it doesn't matter what the temperature is. When I'm outside, I just feel good. So it was good just to be out in nature, in all the elements, embracing the heat, and just being together and doing that. So it was a good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
I'm grateful for my first simulated hunt.
Simulated hunt?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so there's this character on Instagram. His name is Liver King, and I love following him. He does these things where he calls it a simulated hunt, where he basically just carries a lot of weight around, like pretending that he's, killed an animal and now has to take it back to the village or whatever. And so today, Lucille was my simulated hunt.
Dear God.
Well, I mean, we didn't hunt anything.
Dear.
Yeah, but I mean, she was on my back for about 2 miles.
Yeah.
She did not walk
33
at all.
pounds, some change. She did not. She was literally like a sack of potatoes today, or a dead deer in your case.
Yeah. She was like, on my back. No, it was fun though. Like it was good to get out there and do that. I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling a little tightness.
Do some yoga with me, babe?
Maybe we'll see about that.
Namaste.
Yeah, but no, it was good, and so no, obviously I'm grateful to have that time out in the woods, and walking and doing family hikes is on my yearly planner to try to make sure we do like 2 of those a month. So I'm glad we were able to do that today, picking the second hottest day of the year.
Power of writing that shit down, man.
Yeah,
No
it
matter what
works.
the weather, Nick.
It works.
Your mood brings the weather, and our
That's
mood was
true.
spectacular.
Yeah, I was glistening today.
Oh God, and Lucille, two funny things she said during our hike. The first one was, there were some trees that had fallen and they're like above us. And I'm like, oh, look, Lucille, tree bridge. And Lucille's like, it's not a tree bridge, Mom. It's a squirrel ramp. Of course it is. My mistake. And the second one, she's on Nick's back. Papa, I think you're melting.
Yep, that's what she said. And I was like, I feel like it.
I just had to document them, and this is a form of documentation, is this podcast. So
Yeah.
if Lucille listens to this one day, Lucille, you're so fucking cute, man. God damn it. It was good. It's just great day. Great
Absolutely.
Sunday.
So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about going against the grain and how it feels like a lot of what we do in our everyday lives to simplify our lives seems to be going against the grain here. And, we're going to kind of tease a couple of topics that we want to touch upon. But yeah, this kind of came up yesterday. We were just stopping for a coffee break, and
We just went to a kid's birthday party.
that's true. We had just got finished, going to a kid's birthday party. We were like, let's re-energize, let's grab some coffee. And, we were just talking about, well, what do we want to podcast this week? And we were just kind of talking about things like what we would do if we were in that situation with the kid's birthday party. And so it just kind of got like a lot of things flowing. And it's just like, things that we've done that have been like really against the grain. So like, we're going to talk about that a little bit as I stroke my long beard here.
Yeah, it was looking kind of devilish,
looking
so
a
I
little
need to fix
shaggy,
it. There was
yeah.
just... All right, they're good now. So the reason I laughed is because what sparked this conversation is the fact that we experienced this birthday party, and it was so great. And we were kind of talking to the dad of the little boy whose party it was, and he was very much like, man, I just wanted something small. It's just a lot of work. There's a lot of people here. And he was just expressing how he'd rather have something small and intimate. And Nick and I were kind of reflecting and shaking our heads we totally are with you. We like the micro hangouts, just more quality time with people. And, but to each their own. So we're in the coffee shop, and Nick and I are just like, man, we really don't want to throw Lucille a big kids party in the near future. It's just not something we feel we want to do ever. And I know ever is a strong word to say, but we just don't want to do it. And there's reasons, and I don't know if we dive into that now, but we just started down this rabbit hole of chatting about all of the things that maybe a lot of parents or just a lot of people do, and we're like, that's just not us. And being comfortable saying that out loud and living it boldly and courageously. And I don't know, I'm excited for the series because it's one of those ways that we can just share our weirdness and our uniqueness and just being ourselves and being okay with that. There's a lot of people who want to do one thing, and we're like, that's just not us. So I just want to say it's probably, you may be shaking your head in agreement with some of the things we're saying, or maybe you'll be like, wow, you guys really are weird or unique and different. And I just want to shine a light on that. Own your weirdness, own your uniqueness, because there's other people out there who may be feeling the same way, and they just want someone else. They want to hear someone else say that they do it too. And it's like, oh, I have permission to do that too. And I don't feel so alone, because it's hard sometimes when the conventional way of living is you just feel it in your bones. That's not for me, but you want to conform, or you want to feel like you belong and have a sense of community. And you're afraid if you speak out or do something different, you're not going to have that anymore. You're not going to be loved, or you're going to be judged, or whatever it is. We just hope that we're a little tiny beacon of hope or light, just shedding some, I don't know, some weirdness out there. It's okay, and to just be you. Yeah,
you said a lot of what I wanted to just say there too, which is, that's good because we're on the same page here. But I think there's a lot of times where, and I know we've done this in the past, you do things because it's what you think is expected of you, or you don't want to have to deal with the repercussions of not doing it. There's just a lot of things. Whether it's, kids' parties, or, what you eat, what you wear, there's just everything. And I feel like we've kind of found a groove, through doing this podcast, through, years of working on ourselves. And, by all means, we don't think that we've got it down by any, we make adjustments as we need to, but like, we've been just on a journey. And I think a lot of it is just being open to trying new things, and open to not doing certain things as well. And just kind of dealing with, what comes at you. And just, I think what we've learned is like, as long as you can kind of explain and communicate why you do something or why you don't do something, like, I think that's important. But at the end of the day, as long as you're comfortable and you're at peace with whatever decision you're making, whether it's, your health or your wardrobe or how you decide to live your life, like, that's what we really want to kind of dive into. And so, we were talking about a couple of different topics that we definitely want to cover in, like, gift giving is, we've talked about that in the past, but I think, we can talk about it a little bit differently, this time around. How we're raising Lucille is another area that we can really, talk about, and just kids, and education is another thing that I know we want to take kind of a deep dive on. So like, there's a lot of different topics that we can cover in this Against the Grain series.
Totally. And you said something and I wanted to reply, and now I forgot what I was going to say. God
my goodness.
I was trying to be in the moment and present, and then I was like,
cut me off, Jelly.
No, I don't want to do that. No, yeah, these episodes, and we're not sure how many episodes it's going to be, I guess as long as it takes to get out everything, but we're excited to like just share it all. And a lot of it is lifestyle choices. And Nick is right about, I think as long as you can answer the why, and I don't think it means answer the why to other people. I don't think you have to explain yourself to other people, but I think as long as you're asking yourself, like, why am I choosing to do this? Like, that means that it's purposeful and it's intentional. So I like that part. Like, whatever we do, we're probably going to share our why. Not that we have to, but we do want to explain like where we're coming from. So maybe you're like, it gives you more empathy or understanding for like, if you see things like, right, wow, that looks really bizarre or really weird. Like, I'm wondering why they do that. So maybe you'll have like this little nugget of like, oh, I heard the reasons why A, B, and C did that. So that kind of brings a little bit of lightness to that topic, and it's not always what it seems, and there's like such a bigger story behind the action or the decision that somebody's choosing to do or how they want to live. So yeah, I mean, we've got so many topics based on like our
we were just spitballing and we were like, yes, write that down.
Oh my god, it's just like,
well, it was funny, like we were just talking about what we would cover in one episode, and I was like, Jilly, I was like, I think we need to have multiple episodes on it, and you're just like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. It's just like, this could end up being like a 2-hour podcast if we did that one way. But then that's how the whole Against the Grain idea kind of got tossed around. It's either coffee or a cocktail that really sparks the juices.
Totally. And that's something weird and unique about us. It's like we're coffee and cocktail snobs, and we do it often. And it's really sparks a lot of joy and meaning and pleasure out of us. So something that, we can dive into as far as like food and all that stuff. But we have a lot of topics to cover, and do
you want to give a couple just to keep them primed?
Yeah. Okay. So like Nick was saying, like the fact that we don't give gifts, that's a little different. Like even during Christmas, it's definitely against the grain. Something else is we really don't go big on holidays.
No.
We think every day is a holiday, and I know it sounds cheesy and cliche, but it's true. So when there is a holiday, we really don't go out of our way to do anything extreme. It's just like another amazing day that we have together. And, we try to do things that we want to do that are fun and that let us up. But we're also going to talk about like the fact that Nick and I, we both have planners and we both use them, and we journal and we make goals. And I don't know how many people do that, but it may sound like, oh, you're those people that journal and like write and, but yeah, we are. And it's amazing. And it's brought so many things in our lives.
So many benefits to that. And we can talk about the history of that and, how we've evolved even in that. It started off as one thing and it's completely different now than when we first started.
Yeah, totally. Some other choices are the fact that we downsize tremendously. A lot of families like to go bigger and larger, and that's fine, to each their own. We started off with a gigantic house in our eyes, and we've downsized tremendously, and we'd love to chat more about that, even though we've covered it. But it's going to be fun to like have these like micro conversations about all these little topics, and just to explain our why and perspective, and maybe it gets you thinking, or maybe just brings some clarity to like things in your life. Like, are you doing it because you have to? Are you doing it because you want to? Is there something else you'd rather be doing to have more purpose and intention in your life? So I think it'd be fun just to spark questions and to have conversations. And even for us, Nick and I have these conversations thinking we know what we're going to say. And then sometimes it, I don't know, marries into this other conversation,
Sure.
like brings up questions for us. And we're like, I didn't think about that, or just to reflect.
We never know which path we're going to go down or where it's going to lead us. But the important thing is we just keep talking and see where it goes. Like, you know, we veer off the path, we come back, and then we veer off again.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Well, that's something else that may be against the grain. It's like we plan, like we have a podcast, like it's kind of weird for, you know, not every couple does that. But the one reason why we do this, well, two reasons, is not only to share what we learn in our journey, but also it's like therapy for Nick and I. So we keep going because it's good for us. It makes us stronger partners. It helps us communicate better. It lets us, you know, we can dive into that more. But
Yeah. Well, and the third thing is I like to hear my voice. We forgot number 3.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so sorry, Nicholas. Let's think. Maybe how materialism. We don't buy a lot of stuff. We don't have debt except for a house, and maybe the way we shop is completely different. Our shopping habits. Our closet is extremely small compared to most families, I believe. Man, it's just like the list is going on.
Yeah,
and
we
on.
talked about how we replace shopping and ways to do that. Health and food, you know, we've really made some big shifts there. Even just recently, like, you know, we thought we had it down, and then you listen and you read. I mean, even oral health. I mean, I think we've talked about that a little bit, but like we're just changing the way, you know, what the standard dentist would tell you, like what to do. So like, there's just so many cool things and topics within these larger topics that we're going to cover. So there'll be like a food and health kind of episode. Is there anything else? I mean, there was just a ton of stuff, like,
I mean, just the fact
traveling.
Yeah, we experiment often, and we've let go a lot of fear. And I know that wasn't the case always with us. But the fact that we are both like learning and growing together, it's like, let's try it. I mean, why not? Let's dive in. If it's going to make us feel better, live better, do better, be better, like, let's do it. So we're very quick, but also we think about it to like experiment as often as we can with traveling, you know, new diets, new types of food, anything that we think will uplift our life and our well-being. It's like, we're doing it and we're trying it. We're not attached so much to comfort anymore.
We're nimble.
But yeah, we are. And I don't know how, and I think that's very unique about us, but also I don't know everybody out there, but I don't know. I think we do things a lot different, and I'm excited to share it and kind of reflect and learn along the way.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll make more changes.
Well, it's funny too. Like, I think when you think about our podcast name, Simplified Chaos, and then you talk about going against the grain, you like, well, that wouldn't that ensue more chaos? But I think, you know, we've found a way, because we are you know, we ebb and flow with the best of them. I think, you know, we can have some antidotes in there. Is like, you know, yeah, going against the grain can actually simplify your life. And I think that's really what's going to be the important part. And we're going to touch each one of these topics independently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's brought a lot of joy to our lives? That may sound really weird. We love connecting with strangers on the internet. So yeah, I'm pumped. I just want all the weirdness to come out about us, and it's going to be fun to share it. Own it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's organic connection too. It's awesome. Organic internet connections.
Oh, gosh. Is that a thing?
It is now.
I was like, is that a business term that I don't know about, since you're like in the working world and I'm not?
That I am, Julie.
Well, not in that component, like using all the business terms and phrases. Like activate, synergy,
level set. Yeah, there's a lot of terms that make the rounds there, and I'm just like, can we just talk like normal human beings? Like, I want to just talk on a 5th grade level all times.
Butthead.
Why not? I mean, that's awesome. But yeah, no, we're really excited to do this series, and we hope we can get some feedback from you all. If there's anything in particular that you would love for us to cover during that, because I feel like we go against the grain a lot, hit us up on the Instagrams at simplified.chaos and just let us know. We'd love to cover all bases with this little series,
and also
within Simplified Chaos.
Please share your weirdness as well. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be a great opportunity for a sense of community of like, hey, I do this, and it's definitely not what most people do. So I think it'll be a great opportunity just to like connect over like all the unique parts of us that make us so wildly cool. So it's going to be fun, I think, connector too, and a chance for people to reach out and chat.
Yeah, be sure to we'll put some stuff in the stories and get you all to reply to that. We'll put some polls out there or ask some silly questions, and we'd love to just get your replies and hopefully cover them on some episodes here upcoming. But anything else, Jilly, before we dive into some resources here?
No, not that I can.
All right, so yeah. We've got a lot of good stuff coming on here. Jilly's got some great resources here for you all. Take it away, Jilly.
Well, since I thought maybe the power was going to go out today, I was like, didn't want to search on the internet for a resource.
Yeah, we had some crazy wind, and I saw a tree actually fall down today. It was pretty epic.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
So I grabbed a book off our shelves, one that inspires me, and I was looking in it, and the book is called A Year of Positive Thinking by City Spiegel, and I know I've had her as a resource before, but there was a page I found that I thought really like aligned. So sorry if I sound like I'm far away from the microphone. I'm trying to get this book up.
There you go.
Okay. It's called Don't Be Afraid to Stand Out. There will always be a certain expectation of those who do things differently. Different is often misunderstood, but don't be afraid of that. That divergence is where glory resides. Graciously learn from others, but don't become them. Unless you've built the box, don't try to squeeze into it. It wasn't made to fit you. Allow your wild spirit to boldly flourish. Don't waste your magic by trying to be just like everybody else.
That's a very good, is that a quote or is that like...
So she writes these small poems.
Okay.
It's each day. It's like a year... Daily inspiration, wisdom, and courage. It's a year of positive thinking. So it's for each day. She has a little small poem with a topic, and all of them are so relevant. Like you see all these notes on my clipboard.
Yeah, you got a lot of dog ears.
All of these had to do with our topic, but they just are worded differently. So I think it might be something cool to share on Instagram as well, like a quote or a snippet.
Yeah.
Because it's very inspiring to just like be you, do different, celebrate uniqueness. And I think that'll be fun. And it's needed in the world,
Follow us to get inspired and get your weird on.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. All right. And do you have a quote of the day, or is that the...
No, I got a quote too.
She's got a quote.
There's quotes in here too. Boy, this quote is from Joan Didion. To free us from the expectations of others, to give us back to ourselves. There lies the singular power of self-respect.
Booyah, Diddy.
Boom. I think it's an interesting perspective. I never thought of like owning your weirdness as a form of self-respect, but it totally is. Like there's so many labels or connectors that align to that. So it's like, it's cool. It's groovy, babe.
It's 100% accurate. All right. And your take action challenge this week is to listen to us for the next 8 years as we cover all these topics when we go against the grain.
And don't judge us and continue to get your weird on and let go.
That's
Surrender
right.
to the weirdness.
Oh, nice. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like this episode, please do us a favor and help us spread the message. You can do this by writing a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever they call it. I don't know. I'm not an Apple guy. Or simply by simply sharing this episode with a friend. And remember, sharing sparks a conversation. Conversation leads to action, and action is how we're able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. We want to thank you all for listening today, and we will see you again next week.
See y'all later.